Peace, infinite waters, diving deep once again, deep divers. I woke up like this, all magical and fly, just, whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. Raising the frequency. I feel so much better now. Raising the vibration. Deep divers, I said, you feel so much better now. Take that, take that, take that. Sending you tons of good ass energy. The cat down the road said you feel a whole lot better now. Hey, let me shout out to everybody who's joined the YouTube membership for all new exclusive content. Click join below this video. And I just put out a new video on Patreon. Shout out to all the patrons. Join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content. That's going to help you become your greatest version. Patreon.com/Ralph Smart Deep Divers. Click the link down below and be inspired. And it's finally here. Go and get the brand new book, Feel Alive 2. Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart. The secret recipe to becoming your greatest version. Now available on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/the book Deep Divers. Click the link down below. You're going to love it. Now, let's talk about this, right? LA ICE raid protests that are happening. This is kind of crazy, right? Trump has deployed like 2,000 National Guards, right? So everything I talk about, deep divers, is designed to help you become your greatest version. And I want all of you right now to hit that like button if you support the real. Hit that like button right now if you support the real, because we're going to take a little deep dive into this. Things I'm not telling you about the ICE raid protests in LA. We got a whole lot to talk about. We got a whole lot to talk about. Look, if you are watching this video, first and foremost, this is your confirmation. Great things are coming your way. If you're ready for that, just say thank you. Now, deep divers, this story, a lot of people feel a kind of way about it. Some people are like, hey, what ICE are doing is fantastic. And some people are saying, actually, ICE out of LA, right? So you have a massive division happening right now, and we ain't even had breakfast yet. Can I get a hello? Let me play you the story, deep divers, and then give you the breakdown. Let's go.
Hello, I'm Nikki Schiller. Welcome to the programme. We start this out in Los Angeles. President Trump has ordered 2,000 National Guards into the city to counter escalating protests in a predominantly Hispanic district of the Californian city. It comes after a second day of clashes between residents of Paramount and border immigration officers trying to implement President Trump's policy to deport unauthorised migrants. Now, federal ICE agents used tear gas, flashbangs and batons to disperse the protesters. The White House border policy chief has gone to Los Angeles to personally supervise the operation, during which more than 40 migrants were arrested on Saturday. He warned that there would be zero tolerance of any violence or damage to private property. The mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, said ICE was sowing terror in America's second largest city. Well, announcing the order deploying the National Guard, the White House said the administration has a zero-tolerance policy for criminal behaviour and violence, especially when that violence is aimed at law enforcement officers trying to do their jobs. These criminals will be arrested and swiftly brought to justice. The Commander-in-Chief will ensure the laws of the United States are executed fully and completely. Well, I want to show you some of the latest pictures from Los Angeles, and they come in the last hour. They show law enforcement officers wearing protective equipment, including helmets, coming out of the Federal Detention Center. Now, several of them fire tear gas towards the protesters. And it also appears that some form of explosive stun projectiles, which are often described as flashbangs, are thrown. Now, this came after the LAPD issued dispersal orders in some parts of the city. They had said that the use of less lethal munitions had been authorised, saying they can cause pain and discomfort. Well, the protesters then did seem to pull back, and then law enforcement officers formed a line and they walked down the centre of the road. You can still see those bangs going off, clearing the area. They were trying to establish a cordon. More tear gas and bang projectiles were thrown. Now, officers say multiple people have been detained for failing to disperse after multiple warnings. Well, in the last half an hour, President Trump has posted on his Truth Social platform. Let me read to you what he said. He said, "Great job by the National Guard in Los Angeles. After 2 days of violence, clashes and unrest, we have an incompetent governor and mayor who were, as usual, just look at how they handled the fires, and now they're very slow permitting disaster. Federal permitting is complete, unable to handle the task." He goes on to say these radical left protests by instigators and often paid troublemakers will not be tolerated. He also says, from now on, masks will not be allowed to be worn at protests. What do these people have to hide and why, he says. Again, thank you to the National Guard for a job well done. Well, we at the moment can't yet verify whether the National Guard have actually deployed to LA. But earlier, one of the protesters described why they had come out onto the streets.
Purpose was to peacefully tell them to not take our people. We overheard, it's been shared, that ICE had came to our towns. We're just here living, working. They stopped at Home Depot where they know that people are undocumented. So us as a community have came here to try to make peace so that they don't make families separate one another. And what did they do? They just started to attack us. We were peaceful, and all of a sudden, they started throwing bombs at us. I know a lot of us just unified together on the other side to not let the bus that was coming in with all the police. And then instead of them peacefully telling us to back up, they just started pepper spraying us. There's a lot of women out there that have pepper spray.
Well, let's put the area where this...
Let's stop it right there, deep divers. I just needed to give you a little background, a breakdown. ICE raid, Los Angeles protests, right, that are happening. And 2,000 troops deployed by Trump. So what do I think of this? First and foremost, every video I talk to you about, deep divers, is all about helping you become your greatest versions. A lot of people have written to me saying that they can feel that something big is coming. No kidding. Even the cat down the road can feel it. And there's a kind of tension in the air. Storms are brewing. And I told you, shout out to all the deep divers in LA. We've got a lot of deep divers in LA. Protect your energy right now. To all the deep divers in the LA area, protect your energy, because it's going to get crazy. This is only the beginning. You got to remind yourself that a lot of people don't realize everything that's happening right now has got everything to do with the signs of the times. All of this civil unrest has all been prophesized. And with growing tensions, you have to remind yourself, focus on yourself. More so, don't get caught up in the division. That's the plan by the inorganic ones to keep you divided, right? Some people are saying, hey, ICE are great. Some people are saying, hey, get rid of ICE, right? All of that division is all part of the plan. Divide and conquer. United we stand, divided we fall. Now, if you take a look at this image, immigrants built America. That's very true. In fact, everyone in America is an immigrant, except for the Native Americans, right? And the people who were there before Columbus, right? But everyone else is an immigrant. And rightly so. Immigrants build America, 100%. A lot of people have been saying that, okay, if you're in America, why should you have a Mexican flag, right? That's some people's pushback. And then some people are saying that actually ICE, get out of LA. You know, you have peaceful immigrants here. Some of them are undocumented, but they're contributing to the society. They're contributing to the community. And that's a fair point. I wrote down this, deep divers. It is one humanity. Everything else is an illusion. Slow motion this side. Say it again, Ralph. I will. It is one humanity. Everything else is an illusion. And you got to remind yourself that humanity is in a lot of trouble. Because you see, we've kind of created borders and rules and regulations and immigrants and non-immigrants, and it's created a whole lot of chaos. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. And you see, we've got to remind ourselves that this is the time right now where you're going to see a lot of civil unrest, a lot of chaos. And the solution is to be the change you wish to see in the world. The solution is to remind yourself that we've all got a part to play. My mentor, Krishnamurti, he said, it is no measure of health to be well adjusted to a profoundly sick society. He also talked about how any time that you are saying, this is my country, get out, and then the other person is saying, this is my country, get out, there is always going to be a war. And you have ICE saying, hey, these people need to get out of our country. And then you have people saying, actually, we have a right to be here. You got to remind yourself of one thing. You are not a country. You are not a race. You aren't even a nationality. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. And this is the only help. This is the only help when people remind themselves that actually we've got to start all over. The whole world, even the cat down the road knows that we've got to start all over. Because you see, there is so much ego involved. People say, hey, I can own land. Like when the Europeans first went to the Americas, this concept of land ownership, especially in the Polynesian islands, places like Hawaii, was unheard of. Everyone lived in a communal setting. Everyone shared the land. You could never own the land. So this whole concept of land ownership all throughout the world has created a lot of problems, right? Because some people are saying, hey, it's my country, get out, right? And you got to remind yourself, no human being should be illegal. Slow motion this side. Yes, get rid of criminals, get rid of people who are doing shady things. But the people who are there, who are helping the community, they deserve to be there. The people who are contributing to the society deserve to be there. Now, this whole situation also reminded me that storms are brewing in America. You know, deep divers, there are millions of people leaving the US every single year and never coming back. Let me repeat that. There are millions of people leaving the United States of America every single year, going to Portugal, going to South Africa, going to Ghana, and they're not coming back to the US. Even you have a lot of US citizens who are tired of everything that's happening. They're unhappy with what's happened to America. They're unhappy with everything that's happening. And they're leaving. And this is also a sign of the times. Because people can see what's coming. A lot of people know that shit's about to hit the fan. A lot of people know that tensions are brewing. A lot of people know that storms are brewing. Because you have this political unrest, people are divided. And anytime when you have a conflict internally, what do you have? A civil war. And a lot of people can feel that a civil war is brewing in the US. And that was a film, Civil War, by Alex Garland, great director. And they always tell you in the films before it actually happens. So, a civil war is brewing. Potentially. And that's the reason why in these days and times, focus on yourself. Because once again, you have so many people who are divided going at each other. You got some people who love Trump. Some people who hate Trump. You got some people who love ICE. Some people who hate ICE. You got some people who are like, hey, we just want to be left alone. And then you have some people who say, no, we're going to send in the National Guard. All of that creates the ingredients of a civil war. So what I'm telling you, deep divers, especially the deep divers in LA, focus on yourself, focus on your family, always be in a state of peace on a high frequency, but always do the right thing. Stand up for what you believe in your heart and do the right thing. And remind yourself, it's one humanity. Everything else is an illusion. And that's why I'm just saying, feels so good to be alive, baby. Can I get a hello there? Hit that like button right now if you support The Real Deep Divers. Share the video. Hit that like button right now if you support The Real Deep Divers. Share the video. Let's breathe. Whoa, breathing in that good ass prana, baby. You're going to love the video I just put out on Patreon, Deep Divers. Join the new Ralph Smart Patreon page for all new exclusive content that's going to help you become your greatest version. And join the YouTube membership, okay? For all new exclusive content, full access to the live streams. A lot of you are like, where did the live streams go, Ralph? Join the YouTube membership, okay? And go and get the all new limited edition design shirts at ralphsmart.com/clothes and spreadshirt.com if you're in America. And it's finally here. Go and get the brand new book, Feel Alive 2, Unlock Your Infinite Power by Ralph Smart. Their secret recipe to becoming your greatest version, now available on Amazon and at ralphsmart.com/thebookdeepdivers. 500 pages of pure awesomeness. You're going to love it. The Bible of becoming your greatest version. Click the link down below. So deep divers, I had to touch on this subject because I know it's happening in real time. I know that this is not the end of it. There is still going to be more things to come. And I'm telling you, every single day, choose peace. Be the change you wish to see in the world, but also remind yourself that it's one humanity. This is what we have to not lose sight of. You see, all of these things have been man-made and made up. Borders, all of these things, creating chaos. It's all about seeing the humanity and reminding yourself no human being is illegal. Peace. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy, peace. Yo! Once again, deep divers, hit that like button right now if you support The Real, share the video. Hit that like button right now if you support The Real, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below of gratitude and appreciation. I could go live on this topic, deep divers. If you want me to go live, just say, go live. Deep divers, one love, peace.